out on myself and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape these gates I've been looking for so long. That's where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground. I gotta let it burn.
It is the dawn of a new era in the World Elite Podcast, our first of many weekly live streams. We got a lot of drama, a lot of questions to answer, plus save the best for last. Ring of Honor returns weekly on Honor Club, and we're going to do our predictions for Revolution this Sunday on pay-per-view. We got all that and a lot of land for you on this weekly live stream edition of the World Elite Podcast. Let's fucking go!
So what does it mean to be a raging Cajun? Southwest Louisiana, wreck your face, man. Still don't get it in, I'ma let you know. All you gotta do is come and join the show.
We are the highest tier pod of your weekly unfiltered wrestling and entertainment. Welcome to the World Elite Podcast, part of Driving to the Top Productions. Driving to the top where the road don't stop. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube and Twitch as well. Our proud sponsors for the show, of course, 80s Tees. Go to 80stees.com and use our promo code World Elite to get 30% off of your order. Plus, we got a brand new sponsor we're going to debut tonight. This show is also sponsored by W Energy, clean energy to help you be better. Go to w.gg, whatever that obviously means. Use our promo code World Elite Pod to get 10% off of your order. But of course, I'm your host, Marcus, at Marcus Elite 337 on Twitter. And real quick, a big thank you to the band On Play for Burn. You heard it there, the official theme song of our World Elite Podcast Countdown. It's off of their album Burn, available now on Apple Music and Spotify. Sending love to them guys all the way from Paris, France, baby. But of course, I got Dylan with me as always. Where can we find you? And quick question, how did you manage to get the deal with W and, of course, with On Play?
So, the band's On Lap, not On Play.
On Lap. Oh, look. I meant to fuck up there and I didn't even start drinking yet.
It happens. With W, it's kind of similar to how we got the first deal we had with Rogue Energy. But Rogue, you had to sign up and you're automatically sponsored. With W Energy was kind of like a similar type process. It's just you had to submit an application and they let you know within say 20-25 minutes, and you had to provide all your social media handles and links and whatnot. So I would assume they maybe looked at it or maybe just said, fuck it, we'll accept anybody. So I don't know, dude. But I mean, I know we're sponsored by them. I mean, we got a 10% off code now. So go check out their product. I haven't bought none of it yet, but go check it out. Use our code. And I'm on Twitter also at DylanAbear_, as you can see on your screen right now.
Awesome. Well, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. See, got a lot of comments rolling in already. A lot of people tuning in. Thanks to everyone joining in. We got Clinton Smith. Of course, we have our guy, Jordan. We'll have a bit of talk about him towards the end of the show. The Twitter announcement already happened. We got some more comments coming in. And yeah, so it's awesome, man. This is our first of many what we're going to try to do weekly live streams. I figured, a lot of our friends in the podcast world are doing this live stream type format. I know Nick and Keith go on Wednesdays. TK sometimes goes on Thursdays, or just whatever day him, Justin, and Jeremy feel like going on, which, I mean, it's always great content with all of those. Smacking Her All goes on a Friday, like 11 o'clock. Clark Street goes on Fridays as well. So a lot of our friends in the podcast world go on a certain day. So I'm hoping that Thursday is our day to do something. So I'm doing fantastic. This is awesome. I'm looking forward to this stream. Been looking forward to it all damn day. So let's go, man.
Yeah, well, I will let you kick it off. Got you in my TV. So you're watching us from your TV. That's nice. I used to watch our replays like this on my television behind me.
Yeah, so yeah, let's kick things off, and we're gonna kick things off with something that was so big in the sports world that we're actually starting with this first, and it's something that wasn't even pertain to wrestling. Something about it does pertain to someone who is in the wrestling world right now. We'll get to that in a few minutes, but in the boxing world, Jake Paul suffered his first career loss to Tommy Fury in a split decision 8-round fight. I watched it courtesy of Stream East, which means I got it free. Pray to God the FBI isn't watching this one, but I did not pay a single dime for this one. Me and Ryan, of course, watched it on the internet, and I watched it with no problem. So if anyone don't feel like paying a shit ton of money to watch a fight that's more than likely rigged, check out Stream East. I really hope shouting them out isn't doing some damage right now, but Jake Paul did take his first career loss to Tommy Fury, and I thought fucking fantastic, dude. I watched the whole fight, and the announcers, man, the announcers were, I honestly try to keep it clean as I can, but they were sucking Jake Paul off so bad there in this fight. It was unbelievable. Marcus, did you watch any of the fight? Did you see any highlights from it or anything like that?
No, I didn't know it was this past weekend. I thought it was like in April and shit, but it was like, no, it's at 2:00 in the afternoon, our time. But I realized, oh, it had to be in Saudi Arabia or something. But yeah, they had the fight in Saudi Arabia in Diriyah. It's a city I never heard of. Obviously, it's not Riyadh or Jeddah, where I guess this is a city WWE will probably hit up next when they do like Crown Jewel or something. No, I remember they postponed it back from, it was supposed to be December of 2021, but they had the injury issue and we didn't know when it was going to happen. But no, they just realized it happened this past weekend. I heard he lost. I'm like, I have my fingers crossed. Did he get knocked out? Did he get knocked the fuck out? No, he lost by split decision. By a split decision, yeah. And I'm like, hey, I'll take that loss. But it could have been worse. But, man, it's about time this man took a loss because, you know, everyone hates him probably more than his brother. I mean, a lot of people still hate Logan Paul. I still hate him, but I will say his in-ring skills are fantastic. I've seen him wrestle twice. Our actual match with teaming up with The Miz against Ray and Dipshit at WrestleMania last year, and then I got to see him compete a bit in the Royal Rumble earlier this year, and he eliminated my boy Seth freaking Rollins. And if I could be a fly in SoFi Stadium, I'd like to see Logan Paul get his ass beat by Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. But man, it was about time this happened because I don't know who's the biggest shit talker in boxing. Maybe him, Logan. He could talk shit too, but like Jake's the older brother. Older brother's got to talk more shit than baby brother.
Yeah, so I got to give my analysis on this fight since I watched the entire from start to finish. This was a good fight. I mean, was it as close as the announcers were trying to make it and the judges were trying to decide? No. Bakley commented a few minutes ago that Tommy Fury was more of like the quick striker as opposed to what Jake Paul was more of like the power punches because he was landing good ones. And there was a punch that he landed late in the fight that actually took Tommy Fury off his feet, which looking at the replay, kind of looked like he slipped. So it was hard. It was hard to tell. But I'm just, honestly, I'm fucking stunned that they decided to go Tommy Fury and split decision because you look at ratings, it's all Jake Paul. You look at money, it's all Jake Paul. Fucking Jake Paul got $30 million from this fight, even though it was a split decision and he lost. So that tells you right there, he brings in the money, he brings in the ratings. So the fact that they decided to end his undefeated streak over giving first loss to Tommy Fury, I'm absolutely blown away by that. But I think it was the right decision that they made. And going forward, you know, for one, Jake Paul is a very talented fighter. He's a shit talker. He's annoying, but he backs it up in the boxing ring. So I gotta give it to him for that. Something I also want to get to your analysis on, Marcus. Since you didn't watch it, you didn't see nothing about it. But during the fight, I forgot after what round it was. They interviewed Logan Paul. He was outside the ring. He was in like the front row in Jake's corner. So they asked him like his opinion on the fight and whatnot. And of course, he said that, you know, of course, he thought that Jake was winning and whatnot. And then he ended up saying that Tommy Fury was a bitch, and he called the entire Fury family bitches as well. And that also including Tyson Fury, who was also in Tommy's corner. Something I wouldn't do, being how Tommy Fury is, or Tyson Fury, I should say, is a goddamn giant, and he could probably throw Logan Paul straight across the arena. And then also after the fight was over, this is where I want to get to about that, because in the interview, that's what he said about Tommy and the entire Fury family. But then he switched things up quite a bit. He posted a tweet on Twitter saying, "I'll always stand by you in victory or defeat," and he tagged Jake. And he said, "You fought like a warrior and already beat the odds in life. Big congrats to the Furies. What an entertaining family." Kind of weird how you switch things up by calling them bitches and then calling them an entertaining family after that. So a lot of people commenting on the tweet saying, didn't you just call them all bitches? Why are you just switching up now and calling them entertaining? Because he knows that he's going to get his ass kicked also by them as well.
Logan, take my advice. I've been in fucking trouble with the internet many times. Watch what the fuck you say. Them Furies ain't no fucking joke. He probably has been threatened in the last 24 hours that he posted that. And hell, maybe even Seth Rollins made a punch his 2 cents in. Hell, you want to freak Logan Paul out? You might as well let Tyson Fury be in Seth Rollins' corner at WrestleMania. That'll scare the shit out of him a little bit. Bakley says there's a rematch clause, potentially. Hell, give me Logan Paul versus Tyson Fury in a boxing match. But, Logan probably won't be doing a lot of boxing anymore because he's now signed with WWE and everything. Unless they, give him a momentum to, you could go make a couple mil overseas, go do this boxing match, or if you're in Vegas or whatnot. But, I don't know. I'd like to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen unless, Logan departs with WWE.
Yeah, also Bakley is saying Seth Rollins did use that as his ammo in his promo Monday, doing his FaceTime with Logan Paul, asking about his little brother, and then of course the end. I wish I could show the clip, copyright reasons. Even though why I couldn't show the interview with Logan Paul, it's the hottest meme right now going on the internet when he's looking at Logan and says "Bye bye, bitch."
You have to send me that. I'm going to have to look at it. Probably retweet it.
Actually, you didn't see that?
Nope.
Wow, did you watch Raw?
I barely watched some of. I missed the first 20 minutes of it, but when I got home, I watched the rest of the show.
Oh man, you missed a friggin' meme of almost a year, just about. I know in January we got a lot of good memes, but this one should take over for quite a few months. So it was a FaceTime he did with Logan Paul, and it was at the end of the thing where he said "Bye bye, bitch," and he hung up with Logan Paul.
When I got home, when I turned on Raw, what up? What's the weather like tomorrow? Shout broadcast down in Australia. When I turned on Raw, Cody Rhodes was in a tag match or something. I don't know if he was teaming with Alpha Academy or he was against Alpha Academy.
It was a singles match, and he gave fucking Crossroads of nearly the year. Fucking Chad Gable sold it so good.
Oh, wow. Damn, I missed another fucking segment. What's up? Universal Wrestling Podcast in the house. Nick and Keith doing amazing work down there.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to the broadcast. Yo, speaking of cheers, I was going to have a beer ready, but I left it in the freezer too long.
Ooh. Damn. Dude, that reminds me of my wife, what she did on our honeymoon. We brought some extra sodas from our wedding on our honeymoon. She put it in the freezer. She put it in the freezer part accidentally, and all of a sudden I went to go get me one, and the whole top was all bubbled up. I had to open up in the sink, and it fucking exploded in the sink.
I let that fall for 3 days in the icebox. I saw that. I left it in the icebox over the weekend. I just opened it.
Wow.
So yeah, cheers, folks. Cheers to that. But no, the only thing I can remember from Raw this past Monday was Lita and Becky winning the women's tag team titles, and the whole fucking IWC's not happy about it. Or I'm going to say 85% of the IWC's pissed because it's taken away opportunities for the female wrestlers. But some people love it because, because it's Lita and, Lita and Becky. But they're like, well, we're not getting no women's tag title match at WrestleMania. I don't think nobody really wanted that. I'm calling it now. We're probably going to get a 6-woman tag. Trish, Lita, and Becky versus Damage Control.
Yeah, looking at WrestleMania, I kind of wish that every title would be defended, grandest stage of them all. I for sure want the titles to be defended. I kind of feel like that giving them the tag titles was almost like that feel-good moment. And now, you're kind of wondering, what the hell do you do with it now? And now you're inserting Trish into this, and it's going to be a 6-woman tag going into WrestleMania because it will be Damage Control versus Trish, Lita, and Becky, and the titles will not be defended.
Plus, a lot of people are mad about Triple H wanting to shorten the card for WrestleMania. Like, I think for like one night, he wanted to at least do 6 matches in one night instead of like talking about he wanted to shorten it. Well, if you want to shorten the cards a bit, I mean, should you just keep it 2 nights or just go back to one night? He's trying to make WrestleMania go back to like at least a 3-hour event instead of like a 4 or 5 hour show, even though you split it 2 nights.
I think anything to kind of not kill the crowd with exhaustion. I think you go any direction you have to go, because I have been to WrestleManias, 32 in particular, WrestleMania 32. It was the longest day of my life, and it wasn't even close. It was the longest WrestleMania I've ever been to.
WrestleMania 34 was the longest for me. That was in the dome for 7 hours.
Yeah, 34 was a long one too. 30 was not that bad because I've only been to 3 Manias, 30, 32, and 34. But 34 was long. 30, like I said, I didn't feel it was that bad. But 32, being inside of Jerry's world, I think what made it worse is I had a crazy headache, had no medication on me.
Yeah, I get that
Oh
too.
my God, dude. It was a disaster.
I had that for the Rumble earlier this year. Like after the men's Rumble was over and the pyro went off, it's like I had a headache that just didn't go away. It wasn't making me sleepy, but I don't know. Usually pyro don't do that. Like when I went to WrestleMania in Dallas, it didn't give me that shit. Jersey, yeah, WrestleMania 35. Yeah, you had a fucking 3-hour kickoff show plus a 5-hour regular show. So yeah, it was not. I could believe if it was 9 hours for that.
Yeah.
But that whole weekend in Dallas, that was a long weekend of because like the first night I was there, I didn't go to For the Culture. Didn't feel good to go, but I went to Supercard. That was Saturday was just a whole day of shit. Going to NXT Stand and Deliver, and then go into Access, and then go into night one. That was too much in one night. I was so exhausted when I got to the hotel, and then the next day I went to Access again. And then I was able to get a break in between and then went to night 2, which I was already ready to go. And I knew I had a long ass drive after the show. I managed to beat it. Like after the show was over, I hit a 5-hour energy and I drank one of them C4s and I was able to drive the whole way back home from Dallas. But when I got to my house about 6 a.m., I woke up about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was done. Unlike the Rumble, I slept overnight and woke up and drove the 6-7 hours back home and got home in one piece, fully awake.
Nice.
But I'm a bit confused at something here. Speaking of AEW here, I want to come to this topic. Now, a while earlier on Twitter, they had a tweet that came out. At WrestlePurist on Twitter posted something saying, "Oh, congratulations to the WWE winning worst promotion of the year." At first, I didn't realize it was worse. I thought it was best because I'm getting confused at something. They ranked the top 5 worst promotions of 2022. They put WWE at number 1. Number 2 was the NWA. Number 3 was Control Your Narrative. I didn't even know they were still in business. Number 4 was AAA, and number 5 was GCW. First, where's AEW at? And I'm not trying to shit too hard on him. NWA should have been number 1. Since you put Tyrus as your NWA World's Champion, that should have been number 1. And then AEW tweets, AEW has won Promotion of the Year. Dynamite was awarded Best Weekly TV Show of the Year. Forbidden Door was the best major wrestling show of the year, so supposedly it was better than WrestleMania, but a lot of people like me differ. And Tony Khan, for the 3rd consecutive year, was named Promoter and Booker of the Year over Triple H. I don't know about that shit.
I guess I'll give my piece on it real quick. If you look back at 2022, I think that WWE had the best booking. I think Triple H did a fantastic job. I think that things are a little bit on the stale end of things because I think Vince is sort of back in a creative role type thing, even though they can say he's not all they want. I for one do think he is back doing stuff, because I know that Brock Lesnar and Omos was an idea that Vince pitched. I know that Bray Wyatt was interested in working with Brock, but Brock he nixed the idea of doing it, which I think is crazy. But dude, if you look at the worst promotions, for one, I didn't even think Control Your Narrative was still a thing. To have them on that list,
Either.
I guess they are. But yeah, NWA I think should have been up there with the worst. You know, Tyrus as the world champion, for one, right there. What the hell are you doing? But to rank WWE as the worst promotion of all time, is this company like on the AEW payroll to make these sort of like decisions of a vote? There's no way in hell you can rank the WWE as the worst promotion out of all these wrestling promotions that you named, out of NWA, CYN, GCW, and everything like that. I think that is absolutely ridiculous, dude. And then to rank AEW as the best and not even have WWE in the same conversation, I think that's ridiculous. Someone's on somebody's payroll. All I gotta say about that.
Yeah. Also, breaking news on this. This came from the Pro Wrestling World. Warner Brothers Discovery has officially made the decision to move out of the regional sports business completely this year and has already informed the NBA, Major League Baseball, and NHL of their intentions, according to the Wall Street Journal. While so far AEW wasn't explicitly mentioned, AEW is categorized under sports and TV directories, so it's presumably just a matter of time. But it looks like AEW might have a new home soon after the whole Briscoe debacle, and a new partner could help their growth. But this makes the future more exciting for AEW? I don't know. What's up, Tim? TK, the Tim King Show. Be sure to check it out. I didn't even see the other comment. I was reading this shit. But, Scott D'Amore should got Booker of the Year, in my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong about that.
Yeah, because let's real quick. Let's pick the five best companies of 2022. Number one is WWE.
Mm-hmm.
WWE was number two. I will say Impact. Number two, I will
Impact. Yeah, it's number two. Yeah.
Number three, I'll say New Japan.
I don't know.
I don't know.
AEW number three.
I'll probably AEW. I'll probably put it 5. But speaking of New Japan, what did you think of Battle in the Valley? Did you think it was predictable that Mercedes Moné was going to win the title?
Even Stevie Wonder could have seen that coming.
I don't know what I'd put at number 4. I mean, I don't watch MLW. I don't think Ring of Honor. We're going to get a good test with Ring of Honor now that they're officially back, and you can only watch it on Honor Club. I haven't even paid my membership yet, but since everything is like pre-recorded, like Impact back in the day, I'm not really missing much. It's kind of like with Dark and Dark Elevation. So like I can subscribe to Honor Club Saturday, and I won't be in a rush to watch their first taping coming back, because when I saw that card, I mean, I felt like that was a Dark Elevation card. I looked at every card, and I predicted all my winners. I bet you they all win tonight. Mark Briscoe's the first match on the card. He's definitely winning tonight.
I've seen the spoilers, so I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, it started at 7/6. Yeah, it started an hour ago. It is airing right now, but I will eventually check it out this weekend. But yeah, who would you put at number 4 or 5? Who would your last two be? So we said WWE at number 1, Impact 2, New Japan at 3. Who you put 4 and 5? You said AEW would be one of them, but what would you say?
I said AEW for me would be number 3, 4 New Japan, number 5. Fuck, I didn't keep up with a lot of wrestling other than those.
I haven't really watched MLW lately. Or I mean, I could say NXT, but to me NXT is in the WWE category, so
yeah, you kind of can't put them on their own separate thing. I mean, if you can, I mean NXT would be up there, but I think they're under the WWE like brand. I don't know.
No telling. But I'll hand it off back to you now.
All right, so quickly coming up, I know we're I mean, around 30 days, a little less than 30 days now from the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania in Hollywood. And two big stories going into WrestleMania is, of course, Sami Zayn. Is he going to team up with KO? That seems to be the thing going right now. Is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn leaning towards a partnership together to take on the Usos, even though Jey Uso is still sort of MIA right now, and that Jimmy is tagging up with Solo Sikoa. And even though the Usos are still tag champions, and it seems like that could be the main event of night one if it does happen, which I feel like it will. And then Cody Rhodes, of course, is taking on Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. So that leaves the question: is what is the biggest story, or the better story, I should say, going into WrestleMania? Is it Sami Zayn defying the odds and winning a championship, even though it's not the championship that most people wanted him to win at Elimination Chamber? Or is it Cody Rhodes coming back from AEW? He suffered a torn pectoral muscle. He came back at the Rumble, number 30, won the Rumble, very predictable, I should say, and now is going on to WrestleMania to fight Roman Reigns in the main event, I would assume night 2, and getting his big ending and finishing off his story as the undisputed champion. Marcus, I will leave this to you first to give a comment. What is the better story going into WrestleMania? Is it Sami or is it Cody?
Well, it doesn't take rocket science to answer this, but easily Sami Zayn's story is definitely the best. But I have two different scenarios about this. Would you like me to start with Cody, or would you like me to start with Sami?
You can start exactly wherever you want to, if whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter.
Right. Well, since I mentioned Sami first, we'll say this. Sami's was very unpredictable. It just happened at the blink of an eye, and when we first saw him wanting to hang out with the Bloodline, we didn't think it was going to make anything. But when the months go by, he just started getting well known in this group, and everyone just wanted to be a part of it and wanted to see him more and see what he would do next. And he made the Bloodline more fun to entertain to watch, because before I didn't really give a shit about the Bloodline, but now that when he made it more interesting, I wanted to tune in. That the Bloodline was the only reason I was tuning in to SmackDown every Friday night, if I could, or I would record it when I was working ball games and whatnot. And then the fact that, he turns on Roman at the Rumble, and I was there for probably one of the loudest pops I've heard in the last 20 years. And then the incredible match they had at Elimination Chamber, that was very predictable, just as predictable as Cody winning the Royal Rumble and whatnot, that Sami was not going to win in his hometown, and it was going to be some sort of a Montreal screw job. But I mean, it's still going. Just because he had his match at Roman doesn't mean that his story is over. Now he's going into the side with the Usos. Wanting, Jay has been my boy. Is Jay really on his side, or is he going to turn on him? Where Jimmy kind of just turned on him. So it makes you wonder, are they really going to have to fight for the tag titles? Or when Roman comes back on SmackDown tomorrow night, is he going to try and make it like WrestleMania 30, where will they really add him to the main event and make it a triple threat? Or if they decide to split the belts, will you let him fight Roman one night and Cody fights for the WWE title the other night? It's very unpredictable. I mean, we still got a whole 6 weeks until WrestleMania. 5.5, 6 weeks to decide there. Cody's WrestleMania story is kind of like seeing a trailer for the movie for the first time, and it's like a 3-4 minute trailer, and it just gives you about fucking everything you're gonna see in the movie. That's what we saw with Cody when he injured his tricep at Hell in a Cell, or his pectoral, and we knew he was going to be gone, and the estimated time said, he'll be back in January. And then we all knew, he's going to come back at the Rumble, and he's going to win, and he's going to finish his quest of going after the WWE title, because it just hit the right mark where, he suffered the pectoral. He's going to be out 6 to 9 months. He'll be back in time for WrestleMania. So, because before he injured the pectoral, he was scheduled to win the title on the 4th of July last year, but then they had to go to plan B, let him do it at WrestleMania. And plus, with him coming out at number 30, we knew who number 30 was when we didn't hear his theme song between 1 through 29. It'd have made more sense if he came out in between the middle. I predicted he was going to come out like 17 or 18. Then come out at number 30, and we knew he was going to win. And it's obvious he's going to win because you put all this hype in his story of showing him going into rehab, getting that pectoral, recovered from injury. And he's saying, I'm doing this because my father never held the title. He's telling a story. And he's got to finish. If you're going to start a story, you got to finish it. And if the story ends with him not winning the title, then what was the whole fucking point of this storyline of him going through rehab and then, given the spoiler, he's coming back at the Rumble and he wins, but don't win the title? I mean, that's how I pictured Cody's, but Sammy's was just a hit out of left field, and I loved every second of Sammy's story with Bloodline.
So with Sammy, I guess I'll start with Sammy first. I honestly feel like right now the story is for him to eventually get that partnership with Kevin Owens. Somewhere down the line, Jey Uso comes back. He reunites with his brother Jimmy, and they start a good build up to WrestleMania, potentially night one of the main event, because we all know that Cody and Roman is going to main event night two. And that's when Cody, I feel like, is going to get that big ovation, that crowd reaction for him finally dethroning Roman Reigns, him getting pinned for the first time in 3 years or a little over 3 years. So with Sammy, I just feel like that's the way they're aiming right now. I did see a weird theory on Facebook. Wrestling Facebook is the wrong place to be, because seeing people's sort of theories about things is pretty stupid. But this one made sense, but I know they're not going to do nothing with that. It's just, I guess, a coincidence that this was happening. But when Sami Zayn came back after the Chamber, he was wearing a black hoodie. Kevin Owens, whenever he attacked Solo Sikoa after Solo was getting ready to do a move to, I think it was to Sammy with the chair wrapped around his head, Kevin Owens was wearing a black hoodie. And when Jey Uso came back on SmackDown last week in the crowd, he was also wearing a black hoodie. People are seeming to put their theories together and say that Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn are going to form a trio to go against the Bloodline. I think that those people are out of their goddamn minds, and I think that this is just a weird coincidence that they were wearing that. It was just to get people talking on the internet, and obviously Facebook took it and ran with it. I do not think that Jey Uso is going to turn his back against the Bloodline. I think he's going to remain true to them, and this is all a big thing to swerve Sammy and eventually lead to that night one main event for the tag titles, which I do believe Sammy and KO will get their moment for the tag team champions. Now, Cody Rhodes, his is more predictable. He got that big pop at Mania last year. You were in attendance for it. You know, you weren't a big fan of it at the first, but seems it kind of grew on you now. He tore his pectoral, which I did believe he was going to win the title somewhere, maybe around, I don't know, SummerSlam, something like that. But then the torn pectoral before Hell in a Cell kind of took that plan away, and now came back at the Rumble, obviously number 30, getting the victory, and now going on to main event night 2 of WrestleMania, if that's the way to go with it, which I do feel like that is the plan. It's just too predictable. I kind of wish somewhere down the line they would split the belts, and Cody would hold one on Raw, and then Sammy maybe would get that moment with the other title on SmackDown. But I just don't think they're going to do it with Sammy. I think Cody's going to hold one, and someone like maybe Drew McIntyre or something on SmackDown is going to hold the other one. I kind of feel like on SmackDown, he's like that top name maybe to get the championship for that brand. Cody's the obvious name on Raw. So if someone on SmackDown was to take it, I think it should be someone like Drew McIntyre, or even take the IC title off of Gunther and have him hold the championship. I think he would do a fantastic reign with it. But I just think right now the better story going into Mania is obviously Sami Zayn, because it wasn't predictable as Cody's was. Cody's was way too predictable. You couldn't have wrote a more predictable script with him. So Sammy's came out of left field. You never saw this sort of reaction for him coming. If you could have asked me last year if Sami Zayn was going to be in the main event of Elimination Chamber versus Roman Reigns for the title, I would have told you that you were out of your mind. Sammy obviously has a better story going to Mania, but it's just a wait and see to what's going to happen. I really wish they would have done like a Daniel Bryan and add him to the main event and let him get his moment. But I just don't see it happening. So main event night 1, I see the tag titles, and then main event night 2, Cody and Roman for the title.
I have one more thing WWE related before we get to the rest of the night, which is AEW talk. I'm calling it now. I'm calling Solo Sikoa to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I hate that battle royal. It does nothing.
I hate it too, but they're gonna have it on SmackDown, so I'm gonna go with Solo as the main pick. If I had to pick a backup, well, we now know Omos is facing Brock Lesnar, so that's a no. I'll probably say like Bronson Reed or something as a backup.
Dude, it sucks with Bronson Reed, dude. He gets no reaction on Monday Night Raw whatsoever. And this guy in New Japan defeated Okada. Someone like that should get a good size reaction from a crowd, but the crowd just sadly couldn't give less of a damn about him.
Yeah. And we already know, Raw's in Boston next week. John Cena's going to be in his hometown, and that's going to start the feud with Austin Theory at WrestleMania. I don't think it should be for the championship unless down the next 6 weeks he loses it eventually to somebody. I mean, let's say that happens and Cena costs Theory the U.S. title. I could see him either losing it to Montez Ford, Bronson Reed, or Johnny Gargano. That's my top three.
Yeah, I think if you're going to take the title off of him before Mania, it's got to be someone who's already a single star. I don't think they pull Montez Ford out of a tag team just yet to put a title on him. I know the guys over there at the Universal Wrestling Podcast were talking on their stream last night, and he even posted a clip from it. I think it was Brett first from Brainbuster that brought it up, saying how they should do like have him go from a tag team to a single star, because they already did the world title with Kofi from the New Day. They did the King of the Ring for Xavier from the New Day, and they already did the title for Big E of the New Day. So why not turn Montez into a single star? Even though he's still with the Street Profits. I don't know if maybe they're worried that Angelo Dawkins is kind of going to fall off if Montez does become a single star. But if I'm going to look at somebody right now to potentially take it off, I think Johnny Gargano should take it off, because they were a team in NXT. They were the Way. Mm-hmm. So who better to take it off of him than Gargano? I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll see. But you were talking about Gunther. I could see at WrestleMania, Gunther's probably going to defend the Intercontinental title in a triple threat against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, because that's what everybody wants. I think that would be a great idea as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we'll get to the AEW talk. Usually with AEW pay-per-views, this year it's not overstacked with matches. Remember Double or Nothing had like 15 matches. All Out had around the 14, 15 category. Full Gear, I think, had like 13 matches. Well, there's only 8 for the pay-per-view card, but there's one match they've done the last 2 or 3 years at this pay-per-view. They did on Dynamite last night, the Face of the Revolution ladder match that they just recently did. I don't remember who all. Oh, here we go. So you had Kanosuke Takeshita Ortiz. Is that Rey Fenix?
No, it's Commander. It's
Commander. Commander. Oh, shit, damn. And then you see Sammy Guevara, Hobbs, Eddie Kingston, and Jesus Christ. AR Fox. Who's the one by Commander? I can't believe I can't even recognize his face. Action Andretti. Action Andretti, okay. When I saw this, I figured I think I said Action Andretti was going to win, but Hobbs won the match, and I'm happy. I was glad Hobbs won, because usually if you win this lap match, you get a future TNT championship match in the near future, which they'll probably do like at a Battle of the Belts or something. But Hobbs won. It was well-deserved, and he finally got that moment. But if I can, you know what? I'm going to save it, because I don't want to spoil anything. I'm going to save it. But I thought the match was actually good. Commander, when he fucking ran across that top rope and then dived off and did a moonsault. Sammy Guevara must be a cat with 9 lives. He did the same like Jeff Hardy look at Swanton, and he's still hanging in there. Hobbs getting a title shot next week. And then Eddie Kingston, is this a storyline? How many times has he quit?
Yeah, it's an obvious work.
Yeah, but I thought the match was great. I mean, yeah, they could have did it at the pay-per-view, but I get why, because one of the matches is going to be a full hour, and Lord knows how many matches they're going to put on the 0 hour. But as of right now, there's only 8 matches on this pay-per-view card, and that's the least I think AEW has done since 2019 for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, this was a really good match. I mean, one that I was very looking forward to on Wednesday, and it was fantastic. I picked Hobbs to win. You know, I think Hobbs for a long time should be getting his moment, and you know he's potentially going to face either Wardlow or Samoa Joe. That's going to be a fantastic match. You know, if it's Wardlow, awesome. If it's Joe, I think awesome also. But I really feel like they should put the belt back on Wardlow, but it just means that Hobbs isn't going to win. So if Joe wins, I think that Hobbs has a chance. If Wardlow wins at Revolution, I think Hobbs has no chance at all. But this was a really good match. I thought it was fantastic. I mean, Commander, obviously a star of the show. This guy, I mean, he was already told, because people already told us about him and what to expect about him. And he went out there and proved it. This was a fantastic match. And if he would have won, it would have been awesome as well. I think anyone would have won this match. I think it would have been great.
Yeah, this was probably the only match that put life in that go-home show before Revolution, and that was a horrible Dynamite last night, especially being in an iconic venue like the Cow Palace, where Eddie Guerrero won the WWE title, and of course a building that Pat Patterson made famous, like Bruno Sammartino made Madison Square Garden famous. It was a horrible, horrible Dynamite. This was probably the only good part of the night was this match. Tim said Hobbs needs to be in the match on Sunday and win. I agree. Make it a three-way. That would be fucking fantastic. I agree 100%. But let's go ahead and do our predictions for Revolution that's going to happen this Sunday on pay-per-view from San Francisco, California at the Chase Center, the home of the Golden State Warriors. That definitely won't be winning no NBA championship this year. I'd be lucky if they even make the play-in of the playoffs. We'll start from the bottom. We're getting a rivalry renewed here. We get Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy, Jack Perry in a no-holds-barred match.
For one, this is going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be a very good match. You know, a rivalry that's been going on for quite some time. Christian obviously was out with an injury for quite some time, but he's back. He's healthy. But I think Jungle Boy wins this match. You know, he's been long overdue to get his hands on Christian, and this is a match where he's not going to have anybody stopping him. So I think he gets the win over Christian, and he gets his moments, and he moves on to bigger and better things. But it makes me wonder what happens with Christian after this.
I heard rumors Christian wants to go back to WWE. That's supposedly my rumor, because Jordan says he's picking Jungle Boy. Because there was a rumor that Edge wanted to have his last match in Toronto against Christian. That was the rumor. So I don't know if he's going to stay in AEW long. That's what the rumor is. That Christian comes back to WWE to have Edge's last match before he officially retires on August the 7th, because August 7th Raw will be in Toronto, because SummerSlam's going to be in Detroit, which is only like an hour across the border from Toronto, the day after my birthday, by the way. So, but next up, I'm picking Jungle Boy, but something tells me Christian will probably win this match, but I'm picking Jungle Boy.
Okay.
Then we're going to match I'm actually excited for. We're getting the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, defending the Trios Championships against the House of Black. Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews.
So number one, I think the Elite has one of the best entrances in AEW with Kansas. Obviously, Marcus, don't play it. We got copyrighted last time. Don't do it again. I absolutely love the Elite. I love Kenny. I love the Bucks. I think this is a match the House of Black wins it. I really think the Elite went through this whole 7-match series like it was the NBA Finals to win the Trios titles back. But I think the House of Black wins it. I think that this is going to be a fantastic match, and this is going to be the one that House of Black finally gets that respect they deserve. Brody King's an absolute monster. Malachi Black, he's fantastic. And then, of course, Buddy Matthews. This guy is a freak, like a genetic freak. So this is going to be fantastic. House of Black wins. I hate picking against the Elite, but this is a match they deserve to win, the House of Black.
I think they still play the NBA on NBC theme song, even though they're no longer doing a best of 7 anymore. That's just because they're NBA freaks. I get it. But Jordan's picking the Elite to retain. I don't think they drop them yet. I'm going to go with the Elite to retain also. Christian had a great run in AEW, better than anything he'd do in WWE. He wouldn't get a premier live event match over there, and the dubs will be in the WCF at worst. Okay. No, I'm going with the Elite to retain. If they lose them, they'll potentially maybe we'll lose them on a Dynamite, or they'll probably lose them at Double or Nothing. To who? No telling, unless they go into this long feud with House of Black, because I really don't see any other trio team winning those titles outside of the House of Black. Unless, maybe Best Friends or something, but no, not even.
No, please, no.
Would you rather them or the Dark Order?
Dark Order. Evil Uno is fucking awesome, dude. That match with Moxley, he's so underrated. Evil Uno, dude. He can go.
Actually,
so, Dark Order by a mile.
I was actually impressed with that match too. I thought it was going to be a squash match. In fact, they made it just like Jericho and Peter Avalon. Yeah, I said that was going to be a squash match too. All right. Then we get a 3-way for the AEW Women's World Championship. Jamie Hayter taking on Saraya and Ruby Soho.
So it's actually a good thing you got through this match early. I, for one, am picking Jamie Hayter. I think she should have a very lengthy run with the title. I wouldn't be opposed to Ruby Soho winning it. Keep that title away from Saraya. I think Saraya is by far the worst signing AEW has made so far since being a company. She is absolutely awful. She's awful. She is absolutely awful. She is a horrible heel. She does the generic heel thing, sticking the finger every time you come out. That's old, dude. Like get something better. Like, they're not. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I don't know if they did the whole spray paint thing again. I hope they didn't, because that shit's awful, dude.
What are they, the NWO now?
Well, they've been doing spray paint. Like, they've been spray painting like an L on people they knock out. I guess like a loser or something.
Say what? Loser.
Yeah, but no, she's a horrible heel. I think she's possibly the worst signing they've made so far since being a company. I was happy to see her come back. I was happy she got her first match back. It was rusty, but I mean, what do you expect? She's horrible, man. It was a horrible heel turn. It was a very unexpected heel turn, and not in a good way. So keep that belt as far as you can away from Saraya as you can. So either Jamie Hayter or Ruby, but my official pick is, of course, Jamie Hayter.
I agree. I got Jamie Hayter retaining. I'm shocked Britt Baker didn't even turn on her yet and wants to take the title from her, unless that's going to be next pay-per-view or even at All Out. TK said Hobbs and whoever. Jordan's picking Jamie Hayter to retain. Hobbs in the Elite. Chase.
I know House of Black wins, he says.
Oh, House of Black wins in the Elite Chase. Saraya wins the belt, and then they do a 5-on-5, and then DMD and Jamie will feud over who should challenge her, and DMD turns heel again. That's a good point there. I got Jamie Hayter retaining. I mean, if she don't turn on Jamie and they go at it at Double or Nothing, then it'll have to be an All Out. She's going to turn on her soon.
And the only way I think Jamie Hayter loses this match is if Britt turns, but I don't think Britt turns just yet. I've been calling a Britt Baker heel turn on Jamie Hayter as long as I've been calling for Dominic to turn on Ray, which that finally happened after predicting it for a full year probably. So I think sooner or later she'll turn. I don't think she'll turn on Revolution, but sooner or later it will, and we'll get that Hayter and Britt Baker match.
Jamie Hayter is probably my favorite female in AEW right now. I mean, I love her. I still love Britt. I still love Hikaru Shida, even though we haven't been seeing her lately. And I'm waiting for her to come back. I can't wait for Chris Statlander to come back, because I love her too. I don't like Toni Storm now. I did like her at first, but I just don't fucking care for her anymore. And I just like looking at Saraya. I mean, just looking at her. I don't care. She can't do shit in the ring anymore. She's rusty, and she can't cut a promo anymore to save her life.
So Jamie Hayter is my favorite by far, but at a close second, she don't she doesn't get the respect she deserves because she fights a lot of squash matches to build her record up.
Squash
But Jade
matches. Look at.
Cargill,
Thank you. You beat me to it, and she sucks. I don't know who sucks worse between her and Saraya. Put them in a match together. Throw that shit in the fucking trash.
I have said for a long time that Jade Cargill is one of the main reasons why they need a performance center. But just look at her, man. Jade Cargill has star written all over her. And if you actually give her a solid opponent, I think it'll be a better match because it's not just her with the inexperience. It's the people she's going against. Every week she's going against either like an indie talent to bring it over to AEW or someone in the women's division of AEW that you haven't heard from since they became a company. So, I mean, you got to give her a quality opponent if you want to get a quality match out of Jade Cargill. She has star written all over her. Sooner or later, she'll drop that TBS title, and sooner or later, she'll be the Women's World Championship.
Then we got probably one of 3 matches. The 5-on-5 will be at Double or Nothing, and at All Out, it'll be Jamie versus DMD, no title. Saraya versus Thunder. Now, I don't know if I'll let Thunder Rosa back. She sucks too. But these next 3 matches are the only reason I'm watching this pay-per-view. First up, we got Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. Absolute Ricky Starks. Plus, the Jericho Appreciation Society is banned from ringside. Can Jericho do this on his own, or is Ricky Starks, this is his moment, this is his year, this is his time? Will he beat Jericho again?
I'm going with Ricky. Jericho is known for putting over people. I think he puts Ricky over in the best way possible. Jericho Appreciation Society is being banned from ringside. I think that's perfect. I don't need them interfering at all. I think this should be a one-on-one, no matter what. So Ricky wins, and he wins very convincingly. I think he beats Jericho with one of those fantastic spears he has, and he goes on to maybe future titles, maybe a TNT title, or even a shot at the AEW Championship. Even though he's had his shot before, I do think he does deserve a championship, and he's gonna win convincingly. And like I said, Jericho is going to put him over.
I got Ricky Starks too. Absolute. Ricky Starks. One of my favorites right now on Dynamite, and Jordan is picking Absolute, our New Orleans brother as well. All right, this one, Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship. Just that title, and no, Samoa Joe is not defending the Ring of Honor World Television title, just the TNT one. So, these two titans clashing. What you got? Joe retaining or Wardlow going to win the title back?
So now you're throwing the whole Powerhouse Hobbs situation into this. He's getting his title shot Wednesday on Dynamite. So now you're factoring in, if Wardlow wins, like I was saying earlier, I don't think Hobbs has a chance to win. If Samoa Joe retains against Wardlow, which honestly I don't see happening, then you have that shot of Hobbs winning the title. But then what happens with Wardlow? I kind of feel like Wardlow is made to be TNT champion right now. So I'm going to pick Wardlow. I think Samoa Joe goes back to doing his Ring of Honor stuff, maybe focusing more on Ring of Honor now that they're an actual brand on Honor Club, going back over there, defending his title. And Wardlow goes on to win the title. He defeats Hobbs on Dynamite, and he has a very, very dominating title run with the TNT Championship.
So I'm going with Samoa Joe to retain, but Joe loses to Hobbs on Dynamite next week, courtesy of Wardlow. And Jordan's picking Joe to retain. And Jordan's picking Samoa Joe to retain. Now, I can see Wardlow take the TV title from Joe, like at Ring of Honor. They're gonna keep feuding. Like maybe it's Supercard. Maybe they'll get another match at Supercard. Like Joe cheats to win or something, or controversial finish, but he screws Joe and takes the title from him and gives it to Hobbs, and then they finish their fury at Supercard. Could be like a street fight or something, no holds barred, non-sanctioned match or whatnot, a lights out match. and takes the television title from Joe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling. All right, this next match, there will definitely be blood. As soon as this one particular man sneezes, he's gonna bleed profusely. But we got Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match. We get a Texas death match in California.
Yeah, like you just said, there's gonna be a lot of blood in this match. And I actually have a question about this match, and I'm just going to post it right now. How long until Moxley bleeds? Over under 5 minutes?
I'm going to say 3 minutes.
I think he's going to take just a punch to the face, and he's going to be just fucking pouring down blood.
He's going to bleed
like
first.
Maybe 3. Oh, hands down, he's bleeding first. It's going to be roughly like 3.5 minutes.
How about this? Let's say the match is let's say it estimates a 30-minute match. He's going to bleed in 3 minutes. Hangman will probably bleed in 19, 20 minutes.
I don't think it takes Hangman that long to bleed. I think he goes about maybe 10 minutes till he bleeds. It's going to be a blood fest. I mean, the whole ring mat's going to be covered in blood, I think.
Well, we'll keep this question up. Let's see if our people commenting can give their answer. How long until Moxley bleeds? But who you got winning this one?
Whew. This is the hardest match, I believe, of the night to pick. Because I think I give, and I have a reasoning behind it. I'm giving it to Hangman. I say that because Moxley deserves a vacation. He took some time. He was going to take time off, had to come back whenever I think Punk got injured, and he had to give up his vacation, and now I think this is the match that sends him on vacation. Mox has deserved this for a long time. He's the workhorse of AEW. I think Hangman wins, and they write Mox off for a while.
It's a Texas death match. This is one of Moxley's specialties. He loves anything that's very violent. It could be any type of death match, Texas death, Cage of Death, whatever else they've done in GCW or even CZW. Mox wins this match, and then he'll still take his vacation. I could see him written off the television about 3 to 6 weeks, win or lose, but I think he wins this match. I'm going with Moxley, and Jordan also picks Hangman. Jordan, how many minutes you think until Moxley bleeds? But
the over-under was 5 minutes, Jordan, so give us over 5 minutes, under 5 minutes. We all predicted under, so let's see if Jordan is the lone wolf here and goes over. So Jordan, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead.
This next match, something tells me it might be the worst match of the night, but it might not be. But we got the Ass Boys, or I should say the Guns, Austin and Colton, defending the AEW World Tag Team titles in a 4-way against the Acclaim, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and the team of Danhausen and the All-Atlantic champion of Orange Cassidy.
Whew. I mean, you can make the argument that the Guns they just won the titles not long ago. This is my theory on it, and I think this should have happened on the Dynamite that they won the titles. I think the Guns retain. I think that the Acclaimed are getting ready to win, and Billy Gunn turns on Anthony Bowens or on Max Caster, and he sides back with his two sons. So the Guns win, and they pin the Acclaim because of a heel turn from Billy Gunn.
Okay. So at first, before all the teams were 100% official, I think when 3 out of the 4 were named, I said at first, anybody but fucking Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. And now that all 4 teams are complete, I'd say anybody, the Acclaim, because not these other 3 teams. First off, no, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett winning the tag titles would be disastrous. It would also be humiliating. Just Jeff's Hall of Fame career old ass coming out and winning tag titles with Jay Lethal. Then you got that Samir Singh. That's his name? That tall son of a bitch. Is it Samir Singh? And then you got
Satnam Singh.
Satnam Singh. Oh, Samir is one of Jinder Mahal's brothers. Oh, he's got the Guns retaining. The Guns fucking suck. I don't like the Guns. They suck. They're not even. I was already pissed they won the tag titles. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, no disrespect to them. I love them, but they're not tag team champion material. If anybody deserves tag titles in the Best Friends, it's the actual Best Friends, Chuck and Trent. Orange Cassidy's already a champion. Hell, Danhausen, just let him create his own freaking title if he have to. I mean, he ain't going to take the FTW title from Hook, even though that's not a real championship. It's obvious. Everyone loves the Acclaim. The Acclaim got to win these titles back. They're the most loved tag team right now, and one of my favorite might be my favorite just two-pair tag team right now is the Acclaim. So let them become two-time champs. I just love the rhymes and everything, and I want to hear more. I want to see more scissoring. Give me the Acclaim I say Acclaim every week, not Acclaim every Wednesday. My AEW version means Acclaim every week. So Acclaim wins back and becomes two-time AEW World Tag Team Champions, hopefully. It'd be sad if Daddy Ass left them and went back to the Ass Boys, but if it happens, hey, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if we get to the main event that I really, really do not give a shit for. We get a 60-minute Iron Man match, MJF versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship. A lot of people think Bryan has the advantage because San Francisco is like his second home. We know his baseball team's in San Fran and whatnot. But MJF, people think he could still have a long run with that title, but I mean, this is kind of as predictable as Cody winning the Rumble, but what's your take on the main event?
So I said Hangman and Mox was the hardest match to pick. I think this is a close second for the hardest one to pick. Honestly, I want Danielson to win. I'm going to be rooting for Danielson to win, even though the last pay-per-view I was all on board with MJF winning. I think MJF retains. I think it's tied in like the last minute or so. And hell, even to get more heat on MJF, what if this match ends in a draw? That's the only craziest thing I see happening is ending in a draw. I mean, yeah, it would send the crowd home pretty pissed off. You're waiting for a 60-minute main event and it ends in a draw. But, I mean, that's really the one way to protect Danielson losing another title defense and MJF dropping the title. I mean, yeah, it would suck. I do want a clear winner. And if I'm going to pick a clear winner, I'm going to say MJF retains. I think MJF does some bullshit to win. He always does. It's rare you see this man win clean. Some shit's going to happen during this match. I don't think anyone interferes. I just think he uses some sort of weapon, something like that, even though it is, I mean, it's legal, huh? I mean, if it's an Iron Man match, is a DQ or no DQ?
It depends. There were times where Iron Man matches, you can get disqualified or counted out. I've seen Iron Man matches like that. Like if you remember Kurt Angle and Brock's Iron Man match from 20 years ago when Brock won the title, they had them stipulations because Kurt has gotten a fall one time by a DQ and Lesnar gotten a fall from a count out. So, but then again, it's AEW. They're trying to outdo WWE, so there might be no disqualifications or no count outs. It depends.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Iron Man matches go both ways, with or without DQ or count out.
Yeah, I think MJF wins though. I just think some shit's going on. Honestly, it don't matter if it's DQ or no DQ. You know, it was DQ whenever he won the title for Moxley and Regal slid him the brass knucks. So he's gonna do some shit to win this match.
Yeah, but whether if he wins fair or square or it ends in a draw, MJF's walking out of San Francisco with that belt, the triple B, whatever that fucking means. It doesn't stand for Brainbuster Boys. I know that. Which shout out to the Brainbuster Boys. But I'm calling it now. MJF's going to be champion till his contract goes out next year. And when his contract goes out, he loses the belt.
I think he's doing this whole thing and just to sign back with AEW. It's saying that the bidding war of 2024. I really think he comes back to AEW. I think he's meant for AEW. I think if he goes over there, he won't be able to say half the shit he says over there. Tony Khan lets him get away with a lot. I don't think Vince or Triple H lets him get away with any of that stuff. So I do think that he will be champion at this time, or whenever me and Jordan did our Champions at a Future episode. We did it around, I think, December. I think we did it. We said MJF was going to be champion around this time for this upcoming year. So I think MJF wins. Like I said, some shit's going on. It's going to go on during this match. He's not going to win clean.
Well, that will do it for tonight. Be sure to check out Revolution this Sunday on pay-per-view. Do you have any last things you want to mention before we close out?
I absolutely do. The announcement was made on our Twitter page this week, a few days ago. It took some convincing, but now that he knows that things are going good with him now, I am proud to say that Jordan is returning to the show on our live stream next Thursday. We're going to have a jam-packed episode, same amount of topics, but it's all going to be a team discussion on what the topics will be now that the third person is coming back on the show. So that is the big announcement for next week's stream. Is you're going to see a third camera on here, and that camera being, of course, our third co-host, Jordan. So Jordan, I do know you're listening. You've been commenting your picks for Revolution. You've been commenting all throughout the night. We are absolutely excited to have you back on the show. It's going to be fun, and everyone just look forward to it, because it's going to be another jam-packed, fun episode that we have lined up for you.
Yes, I cannot wait until the Hostly Trio is back together as one. It's going to be fun. And I got an announcement real quick. Be sure to tune in this weekend. We got another audio episode coming on the Worldly Podcast where myself and Justin from the End Time Wrestling Podcast, we talk No Way Out 2003. Dylan was supposed to come, but unfortunately he had to do some type of work for family, a little help, a little community type help, you can say, but helping out loved ones. So he was unfortunately had to sit out. But the next time we do a live stream or recording, it's me, you, and Jordan back together. It's going to be fun. Next live stream, tune in next Thursday live on our YouTube channel and on Twitch as well, plus the Facebook page, to see what we talk about next week, because Lord knows what we're going to talk about next. A Fallout show for Revolution may be in the mix. It depends what type of mood I'm in, but I might have that coming on my YouTube channel, on the YouTube channel as well. Whether if it's on this one or mine, it depends how I'm feeling about it. But other than that, we do have audio recording coming out this weekend. After that, it'll be 2 weeks before the next audio recording comes out, where we'll officially have Jordan back. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, and one more thing, this was a fun episode, a fun concept that we had to join such a talented group of podcasters and doing their weekly live streams as well. To everyone who joined the comments tonight and just joined all the conversations we were talking about from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for tuning in. This is just a start of something fun we're going to be doing every week, and we hope that everyone tunes in every single week to come hang out with us and have some fun.
And again, you can find the podcast on Twitter at Worldly Pod. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Be sure to subscribe to us everywhere there. On any audio platforms, we're free and available wherever you can get your podcasts. Give us that 5-star rating and review. Our proud sponsors, our new sponsor, Dubby. Go to Dubby.gg and use our promo code WorldlyPod. You get 10% off of your order there. Our second sponsor, of course, 80s Tees. You can go to 80stees.com, use the promo code Worldly to get 30% off of your order. But that's about it for me. This was fun. Can't wait to do it again next week. And we will see you guys next Thursday on the live stream. Y'all have a good one and enjoy Ring of Honor and Revolution and SmackDown.
So what does it mean to be a raging Cajun? Southwest Louisiana, wreck your face, man. Still don't get it in, I'ma let you know. All you gotta do is come and join